This is a Magi Nation Nightmares Dawn starter box. I'm JBLEB. I'm about to open this. So, this was the third expansion released for Magi Nation. It's the second to last expansion to be released. This was really the second to last set, and it has a lot of cards in it. The last two sets of Magi Nation each have about 300 cards in them, I think. Compared to the 120 to 160, I think, that are in Dream's End and Awakening. But I really haven't opened a lot of cards from this set either, and the starters seemed a little easier to find in the booster packs. I was able to get this one recently, and each of these has about 43 fixed cards to play the starter deck, and then about 2 booster packs worth of random cards in them. So we're going to open up this bog. Now, in the case of the Gnar and Duresh decks that we were just opening, I was opening a lot of those, so I wasn't intending to save them. But with these, I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to open, so I'm probably going to be a little more gentle with the deck boxes. I like to keep them. And also, unlike Voice of the Storms, I don't believe you can open up any random rare promos in here. It's kind of like what you see is what you get. One of the coolest cards in this set is Raging. Not sure exactly how you say it, but he's one of the only universal Magi that you can open up in booster packs. And this set has him. Oh, Warada's Ring is very playable. K-Grope. I'm guessing these aren't fixed because they're not all Bograth cards. Crushing Darkness, Inger, Crown of Grath, and then we're probably at our rares. A Statement of Core Values, and a Tomes of the Great Library. This card is a really powerful card. Sees play in some of the Twins Lockdown decks, and honestly, in just a lot of core decks. Very happy about that one. Hardshell Weevil. These are all common cards, but because we don't really have any cards in this set, all of these are going to be useful for filling out a regional pool and helping us make some decks. And we've got a foil Bagala Hunter. Looks awesome. So I believe then that's the end of the random cards, which I'm going to put in this pile of random cards. Rares in this pile, foils in this pile, and then this is the fixed deck for the Bograth region, which is kind of like a swamp. So this is a funny card I wanted to highlight. Moob is a card that is kind of a misprint. You can even see we actually opened one here. Statement of Core Values has the same art as this. And even though this is a relic, the effect is that of a creature. So it has kind of the wrong formatting and the wrong art. And because it's a misprint, people think oh, maybe it's rare, but I believe this one's actually more common than the Moob, which is kind of like a cute little furry creature. It looks very different. So I'm guessing all the starter decks probably have the misprint, which probably is contributing to that being one of the more common versions, but I guess we'll see if we happen to open up any of the kind of cutesy one. Let's try a paired one. So these are the 2 new regions. Core introduced 1 new region, but after Awakening introduced 1 new region, Core, and that was the first expansion. But after that, they released 2 new regions with every expansion until the game was discontinued. Coincidentally, the next expansion, I believe, didn't introduce any new regions, but was just going to have cards to buffer all of them, so there is still kind of an imbalance amongst the cards in all the regions, but part of why I like both of these is a lot of the deck lists seemed like you could build kind of competitive lists without spending that much money. So these are our random cards. This is the Baradun deck. We've got Yurcho's Staff, Grig, a Moobring, Taisa, Bard Stampede. Now we've got our rares. A Fog Hyren, which is both a Paradun and Bograth, both of these regions, but we got the Paradun one, which I really like. And a Striped Court. I'm pretty sure this sees play in some decks. I love that these are both multi-region cards, because that means there's a lot more we can do with them. Gallifang's got blue. One card I'd love to see is a Move, and see if we can find a random good one. And we got a foil rare, Gazran. I love the foils in Magi Nation. They all look so great. So I think now, what were we doing? These are the random cards. And this is this Paradun starter deck. Crushing Vines is this is a good time as any to bring up. This is a set, Crushing, that in this expansion, almost every single region I think has a crushing spell that is very useful for almost everyone. Oh, nice, Gazran's the rare. I forgot to look at the fixed rare in the Belgrath deck. I didn't notice one when it came up. Fighting Hyren I just love as an uncommon Hyren. We'll find it in this one. All right, so got our rares here. Now, because there's about 300 cards in this set, I want to say there's like around 80 rares, but I didn't count. I couldn't find a count anywhere. But it's a lot harder to open the specific rares. It's kind of, I think, going to be the same problem as Voice of the Storms, that you just kind of have to take what you can get. There we go, my dogs are always watching the door. We got a Yurcho, Crushing Fungus, another crushing spell, Dew Stone. I needed one of these. Crushing Stones, Rex, Sprain Earth, and then we get to our rares. A Swamp Hyren and a Weed Hyren. Awesome, I love getting both of the Hyrens. And this is also a dual region one, so you can slot it in between a couple of decks. I love the artwork on Blue Yajo. I think we opened a Weave one, and I want to see if the color was different now. Because I think, oh, and also foil drinks. God, is that 3 foils already? I didn't realize the rate was so good. And we got our fixed ones. Darkness is the fixed rare. We'll have to go looking for that in the other deck. Then we got another misprint Moob, which again is probably more common than the actual Moob. Sorry. I think I was thinking of Rock Yajo. I love the Yajo subtype. Okay, so those ones look the same. Maybe we didn't open up another Blue Yajo yet. I love this ocean art background, though. I feel like in the core set of Magi Nation, not a lot of the cards have detailed backgrounds, but as more expansions started to come out, we started to see a lot of just real cool, sorry, I mixed that one in, keep the foils there. A whole lot of real cool and like detailed backgrounds start to fill out the rest of the cards. So because the 2 new regions were introduced, and every Magi Nation set kind of does this, a lot of the cards are disproportionately weighted to the 2 new regions. That's why we're opening a whole lot of rares from these 2 regions, because there's just a lot more of them. I think every region has like 5 or 6 rares, but then these 2 have like close to like 20 or something. Those are numbers off the top of my head. These are rough numbers. But that was like what Voice of the Storms was weighted, and I'm assuming this is about the same. 5, 6. Then we've got a Lady of the Storm and a Deadwood Staff is our random rares. Lady of the Storm's an awesome Magi. Alternate Jyla, who's the character that I believe is in the core set, but it's just been around since the beginning. So, Spirit Drain. And our 4th foil, Flout. It's possible that if you do get a foil on all of these starters, which I didn't realize, that would be why foils from this set seem like they pop up online a little bit more. At least I feel like I see them for sale more frequently than I do from like sets like Awakening. But I guess there also aren't as many people opening up Awakening core starters, because Awakening also had weird starters that only have 1 rare. That's random in each of them. I believe from that point on, Dreams End, Nightmare's Dawn, and Voice of the Storms would have 2 random rares in every starter. Awakening's the only weird one. There we go. Okay. I really had to focus on that one for a second. So we're going through a Belgrath. We're alternating them because I like to add extra steps to sorting my cards at the end when it's all done. Now our first random uncommons. Firefly Amulet, Taisa, Weep, Magma Parmalag. I haven't seen that one. I love the Parmalags. Great Throne Mushrooms, and Yin. It's a very scary hurricane going on right now, kind of similar to that. And then we've got our random rares, which are a Sandstrand, and a Raija. All right, hey, that's a good one. We were really looking for one of those. Really, we're looking for 2 more of these because I have one, and he's a cool Magi because you can play multiple copies of him. So one of the decks uses 3 of him along with his construct, which I was really looking to get a chance to use these things. So one of his starting cards are any 2 universal cards. But this is like a promo Raija's Construct that you can use Raij to just summon as an additional starter card because he's got that really tiny text there, starter Raij. It's a lot to unpack here, so I'm not going to waste your time, but there's a really interesting all-universal deck that uses 3 of these, whose name I really just can't pronounce, so I'm going to stop trying. And the more we can get of those, the better. All right, so let's continue going through the stack, but that's one I'm really pumped about. Oh, all right, so this is Moob. So we do see the alternate artwork for Moob in this set compared to the misprint that we'll show in a second that we're about to open in the fixed cards. Corathon's also just a really good card. This is in one of the more oppressive strategies in Magi Nation. Can't have enough of those. And we've got another foil. That's 5 for 5 so far, so I guess I'm gonna assume it's all of them and stop being excited and start saying where are my good cards as foils. Right, darkness. Let's get to the misprint Moob so we can show you. Like, see, it's a darn shame that artwork isn't more around because I just think that's adorable. Put this in the rare pile because it's rare to me. Alright, we're going through a Paragon one. That marks the halfway point. I really couldn't be happier with what I pulled, to be honest. I've gotten a lot of Hirons that I didn't have. I've gotten the Raija. I got the statement, or the Tomes of Great Library. Like, this is also, there's a lot of these in the set. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a set of tomes for each different region, and they all have, like, very powerful abilities. Relics are, of course, the cool type that is has abilities that recur every turn, so they kind of act as if you're giving your Magi some extra powers. I say to the crazy people that don't play this game that are watching this. Alright, we got Taisa, Bard Stampede, Bloom, Frog, Awakening, Vine Hiron. Now we've got our random rares, an Alpine Zamp, the Kaibar's Teeth variant, and Stalker's Boots. Alright. I really love Vine Hiron. This feels like a rare to me, but I think the art looks so cool. He like seems so dangerous. Frame Roadblock. Still haven't seen a weave one of these yet. Oh, so there is no foil in this one. That's so funny. Right as I called it, right as I was like, there's a foil in all of these. I guess we just opened 5 first. It's funny, in each of these, the Magi are like, there's just a couple of cards tucked behind them, like a slightly differently from each other. I feel like I've seen Stalker Boots in some lists before. I know Alpine Zamp sees play in some fringe decks because it's also in a room, and they have a lot of ways to kind of mess around with creatures. One card I'd love to open is a Flying Ginkgo, just because I think they're adorable, and also I have 2 of them now, and the 3rd would be very helpful. I feel like I'm getting clumsier as I go on through these. Alright, so we got our random uncommons, Inder, Crown of Grath. Good old Ashgar. Oh, this is actually really good. He's one of the more playable called Magi's, and I wanted one, so I'm going to make sure I sleeve that way up. Also, I can't get enough of these crushing cards. They're all just so freaking playable. And then we get to our random rares. Gazran, that's not random. There's one of those. Oh, but Granas is great. This is also another fantastic card, and personally, I prefer the underneath frame to the called one, because he's burrowing. You know, who wants burrow on a called version? All right, Granas. I had forgotten to mention that. I don't think it's like particularly rare or anything, but it's very playable. And it would appear, yeah, we've lost the foil streak. Keep Darkness. I probably like missed the rares in a couple of these. I still think it's so weird that the Gnar starter has 2 fixed rares, and like every single other starter only has 3. Or sorry, not only has 3, only has 1. There's 2 in the Gnar deck and 1. Sorry, misspeaking. I always like to highlight 3 Animate. I don't think the starters from the Unlimited and First Edition sets have that. I don't know if they still let you redeem it or not, or if that wasn't added until Awakening was a thing, but someday get your t-shirt. Slimestone, Crushing Growth, Khatib, Boomstick, Eris, Crushing Darkness. Oh, honestly I hadn't seen the Paradwin version of this one. So Crushing Darkness, then we get to our random rares. Another Lady of the Sky. So it is possible to get dupes in these boxes. And another Deadwood Staff. I believe both of those are dupes. Very interesting. Too bad we can't play more than one of her. And I believe that's the end of the random cards onto the fixed. Which, even though you've seen a lot of times, I like to go through because you never know what might have just gotten misallocated into the set. Although I really don't think there's anything in here. I'm chasing ghosts. I believe, and just to confirm, this is Deadwood Staff and Lady of the Sky. Those are in the same one too, right? Weren't they? It looks like it from the way I put them in this pile. It's so funny. I'll have to look out for that and see if that happens again in the future. Got 2 more. Sure would be nice if we got a duplicate of that Rage. Raji. So for our randoms, we got Foxfire, Bogstone, Seaweed Laskin. Oh, I love Weave. I think it's one of my favorite regions, but so I definitely prefer it as on the multi-region cards. Yogg, Strag's Claws, Troll, a Gate of Ombor, and a Piter. Gate 2 Ombor. I can't read upside down. This guy looks so funny, like a little dwarf. I just love the art on Quito Storm. Bograth is a really cool region because they like flood the board. I really didn't even talk about what the regions do. Like, Bograth kind of floods the board with a ton of little guys, and they have a lot of kind of wombo combos they can do with those little guys. Make them explode. They're just like, kind of, in my understanding, they're like a fun sort of Zerg rush, spread the board kind of thing. And Paradwin has a lot of ways, I believe. Oh, hey, that's cool. A foil Milady Iori. I'm starting to forget that we were opening foils. This is a character I believe Iori was printed earlier. I forget what set Iori was in. Probably the Dream's End because she's Weave. But she's like one of the older characters, but I believe still a bit of a warmonger. Really cool. Now, where's the darkness? There it is. Can't keep my pile straight. I only have like 3 of them. Alright. And for our last one, let's see, we're at 6 out of 9 foils. Nice. I like taking these things out first, makes it easier. Oh, and they all just fell over. So for our random ones, we got Tropical Rain, Stock, Scarlet Song Trail, Crushing Vines, Bloom, Ambush, all paired one, right? That's literally 6 paired ones, spells in a row. That's kind of neat. Oh wait, that's because this is probably the fixed part of the deck. That's so funny. That's weird. So this is like put in a different order than all the others. Shouldn't surprise me, but it's still always fun when it happens. All right, Crushing Winds, Great Throne Mushrooms, Teeb Cub, Seaweed Lasson, the Roth version, Dewstone, number 2, which is awesome because I think I needed 2 of those, Crushing Roots, and then for our randoms, we got another Granus, and another Statement of Core Values. Really pumped about opening these. God, that's awesome. I love this card. I was looking at Burrow deck lists the other day, and I was like, it seems like Granus is in a lot of them. I don't have any. Then we got our commons. And a foil blue Yaji. This card's so pretty. I just traded for a bunch of the Weave commons because I was like, I know I'm going to need this. Now I got a whole bunch more, and I can't even be sad about that. That's great. Foil an 8 out of 10. We got a pretty sweet opening that I'm pretty happy about. A couple of duplicates, but that duplicate Granus kind of pulled it together. Gonna go through these, remove these, get this. I'm really happy about this, even if it's an uncommon, I don't care. Alpine Damage. We got Moob. Sandstrand's uber playable. Raija, the card I wanted to open the most. Random 2 Ladies of the Sky. We got all our Hyrants early. We didn't open any Hyrants until the end. But those certainly are good Hyrants. And the only tomes we got was this one, but it's definitely a nice tomes. Alright, so that's me showing you what you've already seen, but I guess that's everything. So maybe I'm just happy about everything. I guess I'm not as happy about these because I don't know what they do, but otherwise, who can complain about this? Nightmares Dawn's a cool set. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a nice day.